Coming up on the South Florida High School Football Show, it's crunch time. The playoffs are underway. We'll have the highlights of the big games in Dade and Broward County. Larry Bluestein wraps up recruiting in both Dade and Broward. All of that coming up on the South Florida High School Football Show. Hello once again, everybody, and welcome to the South Florida High School Football Show. Joe Zagacki with Don Bailey Jr. coming to you from our favorite location right here in Weston. We're at BurgerFi. Cannot be a better spot. Love the burgers, love the hot dogs, love the dessert.
You especially love the dessert, and the food is delicious no matter what you order. It's A+ every single time.
Okay, before we get into this week's show, last week's show did not air because of technical difficulties beyond our control, but we are here today. We're going to have a great look at some of the playoff games coming up, plus Larry Bluestein will be joining us. A reminder, you can also go to our website, southfloridahighschoolfootball.com. You'll catch last week's show, plus you can vote on the Chevy Teacher of the Year and the Tico Player of the Year. That is on our website, southfloridahighschoolfootball.com. Last week's show, plus all of our nominations for Teacher of the Year and Player of the Year. Don Bailey, the playoffs are underway in Dade and Broward. Had some good matchups this past weekend to advance through the playoffs, and it's hard. There are a lot of games to get to the state championship. What are some of the key ingredients?
Well, Joe, health is number one. You really hope that your team is healthy right now. You've gone through a long, grueling season. To get to this point, you've had some tough battles. You've had some hard-fought victories. You've had to overcome obstacles on the field. Some of these teams have traveled all over the country. But now you are concerned about health. So health is number one. Two is conditioning. You want to make sure that at this stage of the game that you can go a full 4 quarters and even overtime if you have to. So conditioning comes into play as well.
Well, there are some very good matchups in Dade and Broward County this weekend. Let's begin our look at the playoffs. Mike Levine and Wesley Carroll have a look back at Flanagan and Deerfield Beach.
Graham with the snap on this 3rd and 14. There he takes off. He's to the 10, to the 5. He's in for a touchdown. Ball popped out, but it was after he scored. Oh, it's a low snap. Stanley picks it up, back at the 20, fires to the end zone. It is a diving grab. No, he missed it. It popped out. He had a receiver wide open. A sliding grab that nearly was completed. It popped off the pads, and that's the ball game. Deerfield Beach wins, and what a heartbreaker for Flanagan.
Deerfield Beach with the win. They go on to face Miramar in the next round. Another Class 8A game. This one at Tropical Park. South Dade going up against Southwest. With the details is WTVJ's Mike Cugno.
Thanks, Joe. 2 9-1 teams going at it, but it was South Dade making all the big plays. First quarter, quarterback Khalil Render rolls and throws to Cavani Francois. He does the rest, 7-0 Buccaneers. Later in the first, 14-0, Khalil Render with a dump to Johnny Hankins. He bangs in hard for the touchdown, 21-0, South Dade rolling. Second quarter now, Southwest would add a pick 6, but South Dade answered with a Render keeper and a pass from Render to Tyree Brady, ending the half 35-7. South Dade would start the second half the way it ended the first with a Render to Brady pass. South Dade rolls, winning 42-7.
The playoffs began this Thursday, old school, with the Coral Gables Cavaliers hosting the Hialeah Thoroughbreds at Tropical Park. Hialeah was first to strike. Henry Bussey gets the ball and runs untouched. 85 yards for the score, 7-0 in the first. But Coral Gables comes back. Dijon Smith to Kimboy Gamble. 13-yard touchdown pass. The Cavs tie it up 7-all at the end of the first. Second quarter, Coral Gables' Keno Mike gets the ball, breaks a tackle, and takes it 63 yards, 14-7 over Hialeah. The Cavaliers, Dijon Smith again, this time to Shaquiri Wilson for a short touchdown pass. Coral Gables would add a field goal just before the half and lead 24-7. Hialeah tried to mount a comeback in the fourth with quarterback Allen Edward keeping the ball and heading right at you. Watch out. Coral Gables would answer back with Keno Mike carrying the ball 19 yards to the end zone. Coral Gables wins 31-14 and advances in the playoffs. We now go to Class 6A. Dillard at home facing Carroll City. Here's Joe Rose with the highlights.
Thanks, Joe. Big matchup Friday night between Carroll City and Dillard at Otis Gray Stadium. Here we go. Panthers quarterback Lee Martin had 2 first-half touchdown runs from the goal line. Dillard led 21-0 at the half. Carroll City tried to mount a comeback late. Trayvon Gray doing everything he can, but throws an interception that seals the game for Dillard Panthers. They hold on to win 28-19, the final.
In Class 3A, Westminster Christian hosting Pahokee in an afternoon affair. First quarter, quarterback Hunter Boyette to Tim Irvin. Great catch coming at you. Westminster Christian getting down to the 1-yard line. Next play, Boyette runs the ball in for the touchdown, 7-0 Westminster. Pahokee would tie the game, but the Warriors kick a field goal to end the half with a lead of 10-7. That's all the scoring the Warriors needed. Their defense held strong in the second half. A pass breakup by Kari Reeser ended one of the Blue Devils' drives. And this sack on a 4th down play by Brett Benson stopped Pahokee's last chance. Westminster Christian holds on 10-7, and they'll go on to face Cardinal Newman in the next round. Now, here are the scores from all the games this Friday in South Florida.
The South Florida High School Football Show is brought to you by the U.S. Army, Tico People's Gas, The Chamber, Metro PCS, South Florida Chevy Dealers, Broward Health, BurgerFi in Weston, Vitamin Shop, and 560 QAM.
A few years ago, I decided to push myself further. College, graduate school, degrees in aeronautics and engineering. And I learned that being my best means getting the best from everyone around me. Becoming an Army officer taught me to set high objectives and quickly rise to meet them. Kinda like a rocket.
An Army officer learns to reach new heights and inspires others to do the same. Can you? Find out at goarmy.com/officer.
He's a 20 years straight, get to work on time. He's loved one woman for all his life. Everybody knows he ain't just tough, he's strong.
The all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado. Strong for all the roads ahead.
The recruiting segment is brought to you by Metro PCS, wireless for all.
We're back on the South Florida High School Football Show. Joe Zagacki with Don Bailey Jr. We're at BurgerFi in the heart of Weston. This is our final show of this year. I think I gained about 15 pounds doing this show here at BurgerFi.
Joe, don't think about it. I can see that you gained 15 and I gained 20. The reason why, the food is spectacular here at BurgerFi right in Weston.
I'll tell you what else is spectacular. Larry Bluestein with all of the recruiting information. This week, Blue's going to take a look at Florida State and South Florida, hence colors that are somewhat close. We have garnet over there.
Close to gold.
We have orange over here, because we need orange on the set all the time. RK, we have our Metro PCS LG Optimus F3. We're going to find about those recruits going elsewhere. We're going to use the voice activation part of the phone. So, call Old Blue.
Well, Joe, Don, we had to really save some pretty decent talent for the Florida State Seminoles. Remember, it was a couple years ago, Chuck Amato made a great headway South Florida area. Then obviously a couple of others have made it. Coach Coley, who's at the University of Miami, was just great in recruiting. The Florida State Seminoles have come down to this area and have done quite well. First of all, JoJo Robinson, a versatile kid out of Northwestern. Here's somebody who plays, I remember when he played running back. Now he's playing wide receiver, he's playing defensive back. He does anything it takes for Northwestern to win. He's a quality football player and does some other good things. Last year at Monsignor Pace, they had Frederick Jones. He moves over to Central, then all of a sudden he gets an offer from FSU, a 6'2", 260-pound defensive tackle, a quality football player, and he can, this is a guy that can move, along the line, probably anywhere. A very versatile guy. Reminds me of somebody who, when he gets up to Tallahassee, they're going to be able to kind of say, hey, you know what, we're going to try you here, we're going to try you there. One of the guys who's committed probably earliest, C.J. Wharton, a wide receiver out of South Dade. We had a chance to see him quite a few times. We watch him against Jackson make some big plays. People just don't respect him. You know, I don't know what it is, but I'll tell you, this is a kid that runs great patterns. He's got tremendous speed. He learned from watching his brother, who's now at UCF. I'll tell you what, C.J. Wharton is definitely a kid. When he gets up to FSU, he's going to make them think a little bit, because remember, FSU right now is a quality group of wide receivers. A lot of those guys are going to be moving on, and you have an opportunity to see, you know, a new breed of receivers, and he's going to be one of them. And rounding out the FSU class is a guy that we've seen 10 times, Treon Harris. All people do is say he can't play quarterback, he can't do this. All he is only lost 2 games in his entire high school football career. He's going to an opportunity, I don't want to be premature, but an opportunity to go to his 3rd straight final. They won last year. They beat Jacksonville Bulls. So certainly Florida State has made some headway. We have other kids locally who just committed. I've got to talk about them. First of all, Quentin Flowers. This is a kid I've talked about, guys, from the beginning. I told you Quentin Flowers from Jackson, one of the versatile quarterbacks, can do it all. He's going to USF. Probably a little bit, you know, I said at the beginning, there's 2 guys that USF has to have, especially with Telly Lockett, former Miami Central coach, over at USF now. One of them was Quentin Flowers. He committed early, then backed off. Now he committed again. This is a kid that has a chance to be very special in Tampa. The other one was Dietrich Nichols. I say if you're going to play big-time football, you have to have a bruising cornerback that won't be afraid to mix it up with any size wide receivers. And I said Nichols would be the perfect guy. Where Nichols could play at a Florida or a Miami or Ohio State, going to USF gives him a chance to plug him himself, or, you know, just a little bit earlier than probably he would at one of the bigger schools. Guys, I can't tell you, Florida State comes down and has a banner class. It shows you how much talent, because Miami's done very well, Florida's done well, and everybody, Louisville has done as well. I have to kind of sneak Louisville in as like the Big 5, because they recruit so well down here. And also USF, props to Coach Telly Lockett for coming to South Florida and coming away with a great quarterback and a dynamic quarterback like Quentin Flowers and a defensive back like Dietrich Nichols. Guys, big time recruiting down here.
Here's how you can help Larry Bluestein in his fight against kidney disease. You can send your donation or support to Our Boy Blue Foundation, P.O. Box 3181, Hollandale 33009. In addition, if anyone would test as a living organ donor for Larry or anyone else, please contact Jackson Memorial Hospital at 305-355-5194.
The South Florida Chevy dealers will be recognizing outstanding educators and handing out $4,000 in donations. Help us by nominating a high school teacher for the 2013 South Florida Chevy Dealers High School Teacher of the Year Award. Chevy will award a crystal trophy to one teacher in each county, plus each teacher's school wins a $2,000 general donation. Visit SouthFloridaHighSchoolFootball.com to learn how to nominate a teacher for consideration. We're accepting nominations until January 17th. The winners will be announced February 5th.
Welcome to the Chamber Sports Performance Minute. Steve is going to take us through today's segment.
Welcome back to the Chamber. Today we want to go over our individual assessment. It's critical that we know what an athlete can or cannot do and to be able to prioritize their training patterns. Obviously, we're going to go over the 40-yard dash, the multi-directional drill, the vertical jump, the 3-hop drill. But I think what we really want to also focus on is what physiologically they can and cannot do. An example of this is just going to be hamstring flexibility. If you would, just lay down on your back. Each of these are going to take their leg and bring it back up into the air. And I just wanted to give you an example of how much of a variation there can be in an age group. Someone here that's right here at 90, someone with a fairly tight hamstring, and someone here with someone that's a little bit more flexible. You guys can put your legs down. Having known that, this is going to basically prioritize what these athletes can and cannot do. This individual might be able to do a squat. This one probably is going to have to do a lunge, and she might actually be able to do something that's a little ballistic. So from there, it'll help us individualize our programs, reduce injury, and help performance.
For more information or to contact us, visit chamberfitness.com.
The South Florida High School Football Show is also on Facebook at SFHSFS. And you can follow us on Twitter at HSFBall and Instagram at SFHSFS. You'll receive weekly updates from our insiders, news, announcements, and game day scoring updates from all over South Florida, plus deals and offers from our partners.
projects large or small. Avoiding buried utility lines is more than food for thought.
What happened?
Know what's below. You or your contractor should always call 811 before you dig. Utilities will mark your lines for free. Brought to you by Tico People's Gas.
Broward Health is good at keeping muscles and joints in motion and out of pain. So good, they treat some of the nation's top athletes. So good, they've been selected to perform joint replacements on retired players. And so good, they handle more ortho cases and perform more joint replacements than anyone else in Broward. So if you're a senior with joint pain or an injured athlete of any age, trust the team Ryan Tannehill trusts.
Broward Health, powerful medicine.
The Coaches segment is brought to you by BurgerFi and Weston, all natural.
We're back on the South Florida High School Football Show. Joe Zagacki with Chris Chambers of The Chamber, great workout facility, which we're going to talk about in a second. Chris has been with us all year long with our coach segment, interviewing coaches in Dade and Broward County. It went really well. What's your overall impression about some of the work these guys are doing?
You know, it was a great impression. I had a great time. It was good to go to the different high schools, see some of the different coaches. And I'll tell you what, man, these guys are very passionate. They run 10-month, season, off-season program going into the season. And they're just not just building football players. They're building men. And that's what I loved about talking to most of the coaches.
I think that's one of the reasons why high school football in Miami-Dade and Broward County is so good.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. And I'm from Ohio. Ohio State and football is king there. But down here in South Florida is almost on a whole nother level. And you have to really appreciate it, from the time they're in Optimist all the way up to the time where they're in high school and on to college.
Chris, how about your workout facility, The Chamber? How did you get involved with it? What was the motivating factor?
Yeah, it was something that I wanted to do. Luckily enough, I was able to transition to something that really inspired me. I'm very passionate about coaching and teaching and being a mentor. And it gives me the same challenges that I had when I was playing football when I was in the NFL. And that's what I love about it the most. I got a lot of purpose out of it. And now I'm able to give all my experience back to the youth of pretty much all ages, professional athletes, college athletes, even adults. Even you. I invited you to come over a couple of times, so we'll see how that goes.
You might wear me out. The high school player, the kid that's a sophomore, junior, senior, the kid that's in the serious training, trying to get to the next level. Let's discuss how you can help them.
Yeah, for one thing, what we do, we have a lot of experience. Myself being there, our coaches are all certified. Our equipment is state-of-the-art equipment. You're not going to see some of that stuff anywhere in the state of Florida. And when you combine all those things, we also have physical therapy there. We do something called martial arts athletics, where we combine the martial arts with the athlete, and we work on movements there. And then we have a field right adjacent to the property. So it's almost a one-stop shop. And any athlete who's looking for elite training or any athlete that's looking to get better, we're definitely a place for it.
This is a way to give an athlete an edge.
Yeah, absolutely. And with South Florida, there's so much talent out here. And you have to have an edge, and we're going to be that facility that's going to help you do that.
And you have different kind of trainers that are there all the time.
Yeah, we do. We have professional trainers, and then the great thing about it is that some days you'll be able to cross over, and you may see a Wes Walker, or you may see a Jeff Conine, or you may see some former athletes, and it's good for a kid to be able to come through the door and be able to see a professional athlete working in the same facility where they're going to train at. It really uplifts them and gives them a lot of inspiration.
And it's not just for football. You could be a soccer player, a basketball player. You're helping them all to become faster, quicker, stronger.
Yeah, it all carries over pretty well. I've gotten used to the lacrosse. I've never seen the game, and we have most of our clientele there is lacrosse players. You have soccer, one of the biggest rising sports in this country here, basketball, football, and it's pretty much a stop for everybody to be able to get better.
Hey, we're in the high school playoffs. This is when the kids have to be at their best.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny, a lot of those teams that I got a chance to interview, and we're always at the best games, are some of the teams that are going to be in the playoffs, and I can't wait to see who's going to come out on top. Like you said before, every team is a contender out here, and I can't wait to go out there and be able to see the guys and root them on and be able to see who's going to be the state champion this year.
All right, great job. Enjoyed watching with the Dolphins. Thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Don't forget to check out SouthFloridaHighSchoolFootball.com, where you'll get recruiting overviews powered by Larry Bluestein, a review of the top 20. We'll preview the top games in Dade and Broward County. We'll catch you up on Shaquille Jackson's blog and game recaps. You can nominate candidates for the Player of the Year and for the High School Teacher of the Year. catch any of this season's TV shows you may have missed, plus a whole bunch more.
Tico Peoples Gas is awarding the Player of the Year award to one player in Miami-Dade and one player in Broward. To nominate a player, visit SouthFloridaHighSchoolFootball.com. Look for the Tico Vote Here icon. Nominations are open until November 30th. The players take home a beautiful crystal trophy, and the schools that vote the most receive a $500 donation. The winners will be announced during our National Signing Day TV show on February 5th.
We continue now with our Broward Health Injury Report, and joining us is Dr. Riley. In this report, we're going to talk about the ACL injury, the diagnosis, and then what happens after it is diagnosed.
Well, I think it's important to understand that anterior cruciate ligament is important for the stability, especially in an athlete who participates in high action, high energy impact sports. And what it does is it helps restrain the knee from becoming unstable as you abruptly cut, turn, pivot, and those are the things that you would do in sports like football, tennis, soccer, skiing as well. It used to be that anterior cruciate ligaments were career-ending injuries, and with the new technology now and the way it is repaired, you can get a player back to what they were doing previously within a year.
Why are you able to get him back so quickly?
Well, there's new techniques now. There's arthroscopic techniques that we use to reconstruct the ligaments, and that has made a world of difference. We have a little bit more knowledge on the science and where to put these ligaments and how to correct them than we did, say, even 15, 20 years ago.
All right, very good, Doctor. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Laura Jeremias with this week's U.S. Army All-American Bowl nominees.
This week, we round out the final selectees for the game. Kyrie Clark, the defensive tackle out of Chaminade in Hollywood. This four-star recruit committed to Florida back in June. He has a solid year so far going into the playoffs and is consistent at improving his game each week. Next up, Trevante Valentine, another great defensive tackle from Champagnat in Miami. Valentine committed to the Miami Hurricanes back in July, but has scheduled official visits to LSU and Alabama in January. Regardless of where he chooses, Valentine has a unique set of skills and physical attributes that will translate into Sunday potential. And congratulations to Sony Michel, the all-star running back from American Heritage Implantation. With his great blend of power, speed, and finesse when he gets the football, Michel is sure to be an asset to any college team. After giving a solid verbal back in September, look for him to play for the Georgia Bulldogs come 2014. Congratulations to all the nominees for this year, and good luck to the selectees in the game come January.
At Metro PCS, we believe in the power of the period. It keeps you from spending too much on wireless.
Unlimited data, talk, and text. $40, period. Everything you want. Even the taxes and fees are rolled right in.
$40, period.
On a nationwide 4G network, no annual contract, $40, period.
That's period power. Everything you want, $40, period. Only at Metro PCS.
He's a 20 years straight, get to work on time. He's loved one woman for all his life. Everybody knows he ain't just tough, he's strong.
The all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado. Strong for all the roads ahead.
Back on the South Florida High School Football Show, Joe Zagacki and Don Bailey Jr. at BurgerFi. It's our last show of this year. It's been our 10th year. We've had a great time with a terrific year of shows, all kinds of food.
Outstanding food. BurgerFi's done a great job with the burgers, the fries, the apple dogs, no matter what it is. And, of course, Joe Zagacki's favorite, the dessert menu.
No question about that. I'll be on the treadmill tomorrow. We've also had an outstanding year of games on the radio, and the fellows that have called them all year long, Mike Levine and Wesley Carroll.
Thanks, Joe and Don. Well, you know, just like every football season, there are some good games and ones that don't turn out to be the highlights of the schedule, but we always have big-time D1 talent on the field. It all started off with St. Thomas and Northwestern. That was a game that St. Thomas prevailed in. Northwestern, their MO was playing hard all year. Wesley, that Central Booker T game, also a very good one.
Yeah, it definitely reached all the expectations. A number 1, number 2 team in the country, playing down to the last possession. Booker T, what a year they had. They played to the bells and whistles of being that number 1 team in the country, and they did a great job.
University School clobbered Cypress Bay. Great matchup on paper, but CB, of course, was just down. Miramar and St. Thomas, how about for the 3rd straight year, the Patriots take down St. Thomas?
Yeah, unbelievable job by them. They really play as hard as they possibly can every time. 3 years in a row for St. Thomas to go down, so that's twice at St. Thomas and once at Miramar.
Norland took down Columbus, who begin October. It was Booker T against Northwestern. Boy, Northwestern, they had a juggernaut of a schedule, came up a little bit short there. Cypress Bay, St. Thomas, another indication as to how down CB was after a big season last year.
Right, Mark Wandolo really struggling to revamp the offense, defense, and special teams. He's a great coach, but he lost a lot of talent.
The next week, of course, Miramar and Cypress Bay. Cypress Bay hung around early in this one. Miramar just way too much talent. And then Deerfield Beach, St. Thomas. Deerfield Beach finished off the season 10-0 as they took down the St. Thomas Raiders.
Unbelievable job to go undefeated at any level in any sport, and just a great job by them to once again give St. Thomas a tough matchup and beat them in the end.
And of course, we saw the highlights just a moment ago from Deerfield Beach and Flanagan in the first round of the playoffs. We have a couple more playoff games to get to as well, and that will cap our 2013 high school football season. What a lot of fun it was, Wesley. It was certainly a great time, and playoff football, you know a lot about that. It is always going to be a star-studded affair as well. Well, that's it for the schedule. It was fun. Thanks for joining us. Joe, Don, back to you.
All right, Mike and Wesley, thank you very much. Don Bailey, this brings us to the end. Our 10th year, wrapping up our 10th year. We have been delighted to be here at BurgerFi. We got the whole crew behind us.
BurgerFi, everybody that's here makes this wonderful, delicious, tasteful food, and it is healthy, and boy, do I enjoy eating it every single week. And a special thanks to Lisa.
Lisa is in charge here. Lisa is the owner of BurgerFi and puts together all this great food. I got the New York-style dog here. We've got the French fries, double cheeseburger, onion rings over there. Of course, one of my favorites.
Don't forget the dessert, Joe. Joe's all about the dessert.
All right, well, thanks to everybody for joining us all year long. Continue to support all of the high schools. And for Don Bailey, I'm Joe Zagacki, and Lisa, and everybody here at BurgerFi. Thanks so much for joining us. Lisa, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you next year right here on the South Florida High School Football Show.
The South Florida High School Football Show has been brought to you by the U.S. Army, Tico People's Gas, the Chamber, Metro PCS, South Florida Chevy Dealers, Broward Health, BurgerFi in Weston, Vitamin Shop, and 560 QAM.
The aggressive penalties are going to happen. But when there's a ball all the way on the 5-yard line and we're throwing blocks over here on the 20, that's a stupid penalty. If we can't play smart football, we're not going to go on much farther. Realize that. Understand that. Yay, we won. Hialeah wasn't good enough to get your patch. You're going to face somebody who will be if we play the way